Hello and welcome to the Card Deck Creator interview series with me, Ayesha Hilton. And today I'm very, very excited to have Kris Szabo with me. She's got quite a few decks out now, and I had all these questions for her, and we were chatting before we hit record, and I thought I'll just ask them once we hit record. So, welcome, Kris. How are you?
Thank you, Aisha. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So to get started, let's just tell us a bit about what you do in your regular business and then how you got into card deck creation.
So I just recently retired from 32 years of public education, and I have always loved spirituality and oracle cards and affirmation cards. A few years ago, I attended the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and got my health and wellness certification. And one of the things I was doing each morning was, in my meditation and affirmations, I would do these little taco cats. And the only reason that's taco cat is because it's a palindrome and it makes me laugh. And I would do these little posts on Facebook or Instagram. And the idea was, what do I need today to start my day? How can I be ready to take on what the world has for me? And ironically, there was a lot of stuff going on at work, and people would say to me, "What would Taco Cat do?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, right." So I do have a little bit of a following there. And initially, I thought I'd write a little book, like a little book that you'd stick in a stocking stuffer or something. But as I was kind of going through life here, thinking about where I was going, playing around a little bit with AI, you kept popping up somehow in Facebook feeds or Instagram feeds. So I'm like, the universe is sending this woman to me. So I signed up for your course, the Card Deck Creators. Did that, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Had the consult, which was, if anyone's listening right now, that is a huge help. You are clear, you're supportive, you are more than willing to help people be successful. And I found that, just that little boost there, I was like, yeah, I can do this. And I think I had another the mid journey one, which to me is a little more challenging. It takes a little time. I'm always amazed at what you're doing with your AI, and the idea of creating these beautiful works without having to commission somebody to go along with whatever's in the written form. So since we touched base in, I think, January or February of last year, I put 4 decks up on Deckible. And so I have 4 decks on Deckible, and they're selling. But I also have 2 in hard copy. And most of those I'm just giving to friends and sharing with people, because it's like, here, you could use this. So right now, retired from public education, I have time to spend with my family. I'm a mom and married. I have a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old, and right now a dog and a cat. And so I get to take care of me, get to pursue things I love. I love painting, I love reading, I love writing, and I love creating. So the decks and the Canva, which you said, do you know how to use Canva? I'm like, not really. But it is very user friendly. It is something that makes life easier. And I feel that, having had the opportunity to meet with you, I've been able to create things, and people are always like, those are beautiful. And I really think if I had tried to do this without your course, I'd be pretty much stuck somewhere and frustrated, and be sitting in a pile with all the other projects that I wanted to do. So that's me right now, and just kind of loving my life and hoping that my cards and the work I do there help inspire others to take care of themselves. And my goal is, like, I'm going to share what I know, and if it works for me, if it helps you, I hope you can help heal yourself or make your life better, or look at life through a different perspective, which, that's 90% of, I think, our problems, how we see things, and that we have a lot of control over how we feel about ourselves and the experiences. And my decks, I hope, do that. So the decks that I created was the Starfish Affirmation, and those are hard copy. And if you don't mind me showing you here, and I want to talk a little bit about what you were able to help me do. So these are the Starfish Affirmation. These are all created with AI. You helped me with choosing like a color from here to complement the back, so you could see, like, they're all different that way. And the idea of the starfish is they can heal themselves and regenerate and become whole again. And the idea is start your day off right with one of these cards. So that was the intention behind those. The Owl Oracle, which I don't have to share here, but it's on Deckible. The idea of Owl was I found myself being really stuck in tunnel vision, set on goals, and this is what I have to do. And just kind of like an owl can turn its head 360. It can see things all around it. Yeah, it notices things that are right there. Like I think I was missing a lot of the signs, so to speak. And owl is I'm going to call him the spirit animal, is like laughing at me, being like, it's all right here. And wisdom comes from within, and it comes from experience. And that's the idea of the Owl Oracle. That right now is just on Deckible, and I would like to make those hard copy with a guidebook at some point and go a little deeper in those. The other one is the taco
I
cat,
might
and I
just
mentioned.
interrupt and
Oh yeah,
share with you and I so we can see, like, this is the Deckible app. So if we just have a look at the starfish,
sure. Thank you.
that way it helps with the visuals. Yeah, so the starfish is gorgeous. Like, you can see all the different colors, and these are backs and fronts here. So, and Deckible does this layout for you automatically as well. So, and then we'll go back to, I just want to show them the owl one.
Yeah, these are not every card is the front is the same, like with most Oracle decks. I made them all different.
I like two-sided cards, just because
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, and I thought,
as much real estate with beautiful stuff as you can.
so that one
Could
there,
use a few
those
more
they're all,
collages, but yeah.
yeah, I'll add more.
Yeah, just so I can show people more. But yeah, like these, and these are all AI generated. You've upscaled them, dropped them in
Yes.
Amber, and then you've got your owl wisdom, messages here with the gradient. So that looks really good. And then you're about to talk about your next deck after that, I think.
Oh, I mentioned the
We'll
taco
go
cat
to
one.
Tarot Cat. I love Tarot
Yeah, so
Cat.
this one, the taco cat here, this one is just like,
Sorry, I called it Tarot Cat. I meant taco. We say
it's probably
taco.
So this one here is just, somewhere between an affirmation and an oracle. And if this was printed, there's also an opportunity to write your own, but they're things to think about for mindset, starting off on the right foot, and the brighter side of things as you start your day.
Yes. And have these the back? I can't see the other side of these cards, but are they the cats?
They're cats. So if you go back one more, you can see there at the bottom, there's that little cat there. So each card is one of the three colors, the blue, the green, or the gold, and you have the little cat at the bottom. But there is a theme or a caption at the top, a subject, a heading, and then there's some more information.
Yeah. And so, what's on the other side, like the shuffling side?
The other side is just what the front of the box looks like. Okay, they're all like in an Oracle deck where they're all the same on one. So if you were to pick, you're not picking it based on the indication. So what I'm learning right now is on Deckible, I need to update my display so people can see it
yes
more.
And probably when you publish this, Deckible didn't have the options that it's got now, like love heart collages, and it's done a lot. There's a lot more options. You're right now. Yeah, so that's why I've got, I think, 10 or 11 decks on Deckible, and I have to go back and update all the collages.
There's a lot there. So this one, Mother's Love, this one just came to me, having worked in education for well over 30 years, the idea of how these little human beings come to us, right? Beautiful, untouched by anything, pure love, just so much capability and potential. And then people, parents, teachers, whomever, start setting these parameters and how we really put them into these places. And self-worth is based on grades or achievement or being the best player or being the the star of the play. And in my role, I had a lot of conversations with children, and they didn't really have a lot of who they were. They didn't know who they were. I don't have an A, or I didn't get the part in the play. And I'm like, yeah,
And
but
it's
you're
all that
kind.
external stuff, right? That's coming back.
Yeah. So these, again, AI art, beautiful. And, it's all, and they're all sleeping babies. So just like,
I'm
just
trying
these
to make it
beautiful.
bigger so people can see. Yeah. Like they're
And
very
the idea,
cute. And you've got different ethnicities and backgrounds,
yeah,
because I
they're
try and do that too, to be representative and inclusive.
clearly a lot of diversity here. And when I was doing AI, I did a lot of multi-ethnicity, multiracial, which was beautiful because you could describe what you're looking for, and these lovely little people came in. You pointed out early on in the AI with like, be careful with the nose and the eyes and the fingers. There's some strange things, and actually some of these little kids, if I didn't crop the hand, they might have only 3 fingers. They have 7 fingers. So it's a, but I'm like, but
Thankfully
some
now
are more than big. But
in
in
Mid
really,
Journey we don't have
so
that as much.
yeah, and this here is, they're beautiful to look at. I have this on my Deckible deck too, and every morning I pull a card for my son who's 19 and pull a card for my daughter electronically, and I text them because that's what they are, right? That's how you communicate with teenagers today.
So
And
you're sending them their daily message too.
they're getting there. And I've given them to other people when they had like a baby shower gift. So this goes in as a little trinket.
So have you printed this one?
These I have printed.
All right, let's
These are,
stop sharing and let's have a look.
yeah, these are, so this is a larger size deck, and here's the cards.
Yeah.
And they're, all these little
So are
sleeping
they
babies.
3.5 by 5 inch? Or they poker?
No, they're not the size.
They're poker size, are they?
They're
Like
yes,
playing
these are the poker
cards.
size. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the idea is you pull one of these with your little child. And I have a friend, her daughter's 9, the 9-year-old loves pulling this, and she likes it. So before we started the recording, I was telling you, I'm interested in writing books and stuff like that. And I could see this becoming a board book, like a baby board book, where the little kids look at it and they see this, and take these are the first kind of not digital, but
tactile
world of taking in, and then you have a card deck to go with it. But the other part is I have a 19-year-old niece who I was showing her my decks, and she's like, I would like one of those to pull one every day. Like, there's people
almost like an inner child, a real child, and then we all have that inner child within us.
Yeah.
And who did you print your 2 decks with that you've done as physical decks?
Oh, that's a good question. Hold on one second.
Did you make playing cards or the color copy store?
Color copy store.
Yeah. So that's the US one that we like. And did you get a box for those, like a tuck box?
I did not. I bought these, like on Amazon.
Yeah. I'm into bags, as you know.
Yeah. And I started looking at the box, and the cost went up, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing with these.
Because this is a passion project for now as you build.
Sure.
And obviously you've got the am I saying taco cat?
Taco.
Taco cat has its own momentum as well. So there could be multiple taco cat decks in the future, I imagine.
Yes. There's and then like I said, that's a daily Instagram, Facebook post, and initially
do you have the taco cat deck there?
I don't have it in hard copy, and I didn't get it printed.
Because that's one I think would be good in hard copy. Which is the other one? I've just totally.
I have the starfish.
Starfish, yes. Can you pull us a starfish card?
Sure.
Just because we all love card decks, so we might as well get one pulled for us.
All right, this is for the group. All right, so this is what it looks like on this side.
Yes.
And sadly, I have to squint. It says, I know life can be tough. I believe we are all entitled to a fresh start. And that's the backside.
I'm all for fresh starts. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah, forgive yourself, forgive others. move on, let it
Yeah.
go.
Let's go. And do you want to
Yeah,
do pull one from the baby deck as well?
I would. So, um, I have nieces who've had children and these were in there and then ran into them and they're like, I just realized you made those. I mean, it says
Uh,
Kris Szabo.
they thought you just
And
gifted it to them. Yeah,
yeah.
that's beautiful.
So, all right. So
And
here's
that is
this
one
one.
good thing about decks is they do make awesome gifts. I've been giving away, I bought some demo packs of my latest deck, found a few mistakes, so I'm glad I only printed just a small batch to give away at Christmas. And they just make beautiful gifts, and
Oh, this is funny. So the first night I got the starfish deck, I was so excited. I threw it in my bag. My husband and I went out to dinner. We're sitting there and I'm like, can I show you these? And I have them out on the table and the waitress comes over, she goes, what are those? I'm like, this is my starfish affirmation. She's like, those are beautiful. I'm like, you can have them. And she brought it over and I'm looking over at the bar and she's there with the other waitresses and everybody's pulling. She's like, these are awesome. And hers
oh,
was something about fresh start, something
yeah.
with yeah, move on. So the one I pulled is this beautiful little
Yeah,
slogan
you
that
are
says you are
loved.
loved.
Oh, I love the image as well. So you did all your images just in Midjourney, not in any other AI art generator as well.
So the babies is Midjourney. The
Yeah,
starfish I used Photo Leap, and then I jumped in and I had to do the DPI with you. You were it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that you helped me
Upscaling.
with because it wasn't
Yeah,
showing up the right. So I had to shift that there.
yeah,
Um, Taco Cat, that one that's just on the cover.
yeah,
Uh, I think I might have pulled the cat from Canva,
yeah,
like in there and then just messed around with it.
yeah.
Um,
There's so many
the
choices now.
this one here,
Yeah,
this cover here on Mother's Love comes right out of Canva. That is not my
yeah,
design. I just picked the colors
yeah.
for the display.
So as
And
people can see, you can get your
yeah,
images any which way as long as you follow the commercial licensing for whichever platform you're using. So
yes,
yeah, so
and
you've done a bit of everything.
a little bit of everything, yeah. And
Yeah,
the owl was Photo Leap again, because I would just literally talk into my phone and I'm like,
yeah,
owl, mystical, psychedelic,
yeah,
beautiful, whatever, and then played around and then and those went back into Midjourney to um to make sure the resolution was correct for the card printing.
yeah. So there probably are you using what upscaler are you using?
Whatever you recommended a
Okay,
year ago.
yeah. Gigapixel. Okay, so I wouldn't have
Yes,
gone back into
gigapixel. Yes,
Midjourney, probably went
gigapixel.
into
It's
Gigapixel. So
things like
yes,
they're there.
like if you're just doing for Deckible, you don't actually need to upscale. But if you're wanting to print down the track, I just say just do it all right the first time, and then you don't have to swap out all the images down the
Right.
track.
So that's what I learned because I kind of started this before we connected. And that
Yes.
was the takeaway was, yeah, start off with all the tools. You provide everything. The other beautiful thing is once you purchase the course, which is not expensive at all, it's very affordable, you have it. And I
Yes.
can go back to it at any time. And the other piece is you're available. Like I
Yes.
can find you on Facebook. You respond
Yeah.
to emails. So
Yes.
that is a huge,
And
huge
even I use the
bonus.
course myself. Like I was looking up saying, oh, where do I buy a barcode again? And which QR code generator? And so, and if I find out new stuff, I update it as I go. And then like I always have that course open for myself to quickly find or get it
Yes,
started in deck
you
with the template.
it
So
is
I use my
updated.
own course because it's a lot to remember, right? Like so, in a year, you're not going to remember, oh, which QR code generator do I want to use or something like that. So,
No,
and
it's a
so
nice
are you
I call
working
it
on a
like
new
a
deck?
toolkit.
Yes.
Um so I'm not working on a new deck. I think what I'm going to do is write the story, the book to accompany the Mother's Love deck.
Yeah.
And and then I'm going to and I'm pursuing my love of watercolors. I'm going to try to take
Oh,
that back
beautiful.
up. When I was in my 20s, I painted, so that's that. I I get these, like, I get in the shower, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And I'll write it down. So I do have more ideas, but I don't have anything quite in the works. They're
Brewing.
just out there.
Yeah.
More ideas. Yeah.
I love watercolor. I have a watercolor desk in my office to doing watercolors, but I haven't done much lately. So, but I like doing watercolors in Midjourney as well. And alcohol ink, it does it really well. Yeah. So what have you found like the most rewarding part of doing all your decks?
So there's clearly, sense of accomplishment. You have it, it's there. I'm not doing it for anyone else. So I'm doing it for me. But when it resonates with somebody,
Yeah.
that means something. They're not telling me, oh, I like it because it's really just like, wow, I needed this today. And
There's one thing I always say is the deck has a life its own. After you've made it, it goes on its own journey, and finds its way into different people's hands.
My whole thing is, my intention is, I want to be a better person. I want to make the world a better place. And if the little bit I can share can contribute to that, that's great.
Yes.
This is not about a get rich thing. So like when I get my little notice from Deckible, I'm like, wow, I sold a deck. Yeah. And someone asked me, can I buy, whatever? I'm like, yeah. And that's exciting. It really is. It's nice when someone wants to pay for it, but that's not the intention here. And maybe someday I'll get there. But the creativity piece, the connectivity piece, I'm going to call it co-creation, because I feel like I'm really connecting spiritually with Source when I do this. That this is how I'm not a very religious person, but I believe there's something bigger than us, and that we can make this world a better place, and we become something better when we are giving what we have to others.
I totally agree. So what advice would you give to someone who's got they've got ideas, but they haven't taken the first step?
I would say, don't be afraid. First of all, you can't make a mistake, right? It's
trial and error, definitely, for some.
No, it's not. And the other part is, who cares what people think? You're doing this for yourself. And one thing, this has come with just, maturity. It's just like, you realize there's something for everybody, and I don't have to keep this to myself. Like, no one's going to steal my idea. So collaborate with people, share your ideas. Working with you have, I'm just, following you on Facebook and Instagram, and just see how much you're promoting other people. There are like-minded people out there who want all of us to succeed and be part of this. Yes. Yeah. Lift us up. And so they're there. Be open to it. Don't be afraid to try new opportunities. I would say everything that's in your head, that little soundtrack you play, is wrong. Don't get stuck up here. Don't get stuck up here. Just say, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah. And kind of trust that inner feeling, what you love, what you're passionate about, what makes you smile, what makes you get up is going to be there. So you do it for you first, and it'll come there. You're not doing this to make your parents proud. You're not doing this to impress a friend. You're not doing this to become a millionaire. I think the gifts that God or Source gives us show through in this, and this is where it is. It's this opportunity to create. Initially, I would say, the idea of creating the card deck through AI, I was a little hesitant. I'm like, I'm not doing it like this idea of like, you have to do it. It has to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. Nothing should be hard. It should be flow, and it should be easy. And when you accept that and are willing to go with it, it comes. It really does. So, kind of trust.
And there is a lot of resistance to AI generated art, but if you do it ethically, like not referencing living artists, like I'm happy to put Klimt in my prompt and whatnot. And the things that I can create, they don't necessarily reference any artists at all. They're just a style, like a watercolor, or I really like putting in something like whimsical, gives you really cool stuff, like the paintings in your background above your bed. That's like that whimsical, you can just describe that. It's almost like an abstract tree, whimsical style, people underneath or whatever. So what I've been able to create, I couldn't have done such beautiful stuff without AI, to be honest, in my newer decks. Like the one that I'm just working on now, it doesn't, like yours, doesn't even look like AI particularly, whereas on your Facebook feed, you'll see
Your
some
collage,
faces.
yeah, your recent stuff, that's
Yes.
really, that's pretty
Like,
impressive. And that's where, and you're right, like I'm not choosing to replicate or take from a particular artist, and I'm using words, like I said, it's spiritual, magical, mystical,
yes,
beautiful, and then play with filters too, right? Because you can
yes.
bring
Even in
other pieces,
Canva,
like
you
you've
can
brought
do a
in
lot of filters.
sparkles, and
Yeah.
there's so much there. And I think it's wonderful that even with music, when people are creating music, you don't have to be the top musician, but you have a song in your heart, so to speak, but you can access the Pro Tools and the Garage Band and all these other things and
Yeah.
create something. Um,
And even with
that to
real art,
me,
like I've done watercolor classes with people that I love, and they're teaching me their style, right? So it's not like we've never learnt from other people. For sure.
and the that we're in a different place and time in the world,
For sure are.
so
And it's
we're
exciting,
keeping
and
up with
it's
it.
got its,
Yeah,
it's got its limitations as well, multiple fingers and stuff, but it's also got,
yeah,
ramifications for society. So we're just still finding our way with AI generative art. But the things that I can generate, sometimes I just get blown away and I'm like, oh my God. And obviously it's the tool, but without you inputting anything into it, it is to
yeah.
me an ultimate
I do.
co-creation.
It is a co-creation, and and I'm going to call it, quote unquote, an art form, because in order to put the prompts in is a whole nother
Yes.
language.
And to
It's
imagine
not,
something.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's true. You are picturing something in your head,
Yeah.
and somehow we're talking to this program, and it says, I understand.
It's like magic. That's why my course is called Mid-Journey
Yeah.
Magic. So I just want to thank you. I love seeing your 4 decks, and I look forward to seeing your children's book to accompany the Mother Love deck. And I wish you
Thank
all the
you.
best with your next creations, and happy to have you on again when you've got something new to show
Yeah.
as well.
I would love
Thank
to
you
come
so
back.
much.
Thank you so much for all your support, and totally inspired by everything you're sharing with everyone on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you for being transparent.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Wasn't it interesting? And I hope you got some inspiration and some tips from listening to this. So if you're interested in making your own card deck, I invite you to check out the Card Deck Creators Toolkit that I've created for people like you who want to create their own inspirational, affirmation, or oracle card deck. There's so many different card decks that you can create. So I invite you to check out the links below to get the toolkit and get on your way creating. And if you've already created your own card deck, congratulations. Share a link below. I'd love to see it. Much love to you, and take care.